I mean, one of the sad statistics is about 38% of primary school teachers or elementary school teachers aren't that good at math themselves. So they have some sort of math anxiety.
Wow.
And it is frightening because, might be very good at English or language or spelling or arts or crafts or so on, but math that they struggle with, and they just, they probably haven't themselves found support to help them. Yeah. So, it sort of sets up the kids for to have struggles right from that point.
Our listeners know, if they have listened to us for any length of time, that I am not a math person. And I'm actually curious to know what your opinion is on this, because some people will say, oh, there's no such thing as a math person or not a math person. It's just in how it's taught. And I'm like, no, I am not a math person. Some people really have the ability to understand math and to just grasp the concepts. I am one of those people who it does not come easily to me. My best friend, Crystal, she loves math. She does it for fun. Like, she will literally do math for fun. And I'm like, how in the world? That just sounds like the most torturous thing in the whole world to me. And so CTC has been a lifesaver for our family because you teach math to my kids. And so for, as a homeschool mom, one of the things that I had the most fear of going into homeschooling was that I would come to subjects that I didn't know how to teach my kids. History, some people are history buffs, some are not, but anybody can read history. So anybody can just read that. Science is maybe a little bit more complicated. Language arts, you can pretty well teach that with any curriculum. But math, there's something about it that takes a certain type of brain to be able to grasp those concepts. So what are your thoughts behind that? Like, are there people who are not math people, or is that, am I crazy to think, oh no, I'm not a math person?
Yeah. Look, it actually does stem back to probably very early days. So if you're taught well in a way where you're set up to succeed, you'll probably be reasonably good at math or not have any anxiety about it, at least.
Sure.
Okay. But I do find the earlier that the kids are taught, well and set up for success, that they actually can enjoy math. They might like stuff, other stuff a lot better, which is fine. But as long as you can have a level of success, then I think that's really entwined with the enjoyment of it. I guess it's like anything. If you're trying to do something but you're failing all the time, that's not enjoyable, right?
Right.
So, and I know that some of my colleagues and a lot of teachers in math, because they love their subject so much, they don't actually quite grasp that maybe this kid's not that interested. They don't understand that there's a lot of people just aren't that interested. So it's a bit like me, like with history. I love history now, but when I was growing up, I hated it. It was just so boring. I had no interest in it. So no matter, I think probably I just wasn't interested. But as an adult, I am very interested. So I think sometimes teachers get stuck in, they think, what they're showing is actually very interesting because it's interesting to them.
Sure.
But it's not necessarily interesting to the kid they're showing. So I've always thought, look, to make math fun, I don't really get into a whole lot of gamey, all this stuff. I've always found that kids enjoy math once they start having a level of success and they're set up for success. That's where I see their enjoyment. Now, to answer directly your question about are there non-math people and are there math people, probably there are some people that do struggle. So there's no doubt about it. But I think I don't think it's the vast majority. I think the way a lot of the schooling is set up, it's not set up for kids to succeed. So by the time they hit high school, that age, then they've probably already decided that they're not that good at math. Whereas if they had got shown beforehand, that it could be a different story.
Sure. And I really actually agree with you on that, because now that as I'm thinking through it, it's one of the beauties of homeschooling our kids is that we can go at their pace. And when I think back to my days of learning math, I remember very specifically 8th grade. I struggled so much in math in 8th grade. And that was the year that I just was like, I hate math. And ever since then, and the thing was that I was in a classroom. And so my teacher, she was wonderful. I loved her, but she couldn't slow down for me. She had to go at the pace that she had to go to accomplish what she needed to accomplish by the end of the year. And so I basically felt like I got left in the dust. And from 8th grade on, I was like, I hate math. This is the hardest thing ever. I don't understand it. And because it continues to build on itself, I became lost and I stayed lost. And it was very, very frustrating for me. So as an adult now, I'm just like, no, don't talk about math. But anything before 8th grade, I don't remember hating math. It was just at that point, I just couldn't do it. And so with homeschooling, and I know with CTCMath, you can go at the pace that your child is going. If they're really good at it and they pick it up quickly, you can just move ahead quickly. If they're struggling, you slow down, rewatch the lessons, and go at the pace that your child is most comfortable going, which I think is such a wonderful benefit to home educating our kids.
Yeah, well, it's good that you actually got to 8th grade before you ran into a roadblock there, Yvette, because I know you at home listening to this, you probably, if you do struggle with math or teaching math, it's probably, you might share the experience that Yvette had where you remember a particular stage where you just didn't start, but up till then it was probably okay.
Sure.
So I think, one of the sad statistics is about, and this is worldwide, not just in Australia or the States, but 38% of primary school teachers or elementary school teachers aren't that good at math themselves. So they have some sort of math anxiety.
Wow.
And it is frightening because, might be very good at English or language or spelling or arts or crafts or so on, but math they struggle with, and they just, they probably haven't themselves found support to help them. Yeah. So, it sort of sets up the kids for to have struggles right from that point. So, and I guess really it's really important if you can, if the kids can learn at their pace, because they're all different. Like even in primary, I sort of go back to primary a bit because I'm very interesting to see that is a lot of where the problems start and they become ingrained. But a typical grade 3 class, for example, would have kids who in that one class could be at a grade 5 level or grade 2 level. So there's a there's a 3-year gap, and a teacher has to sort of pitch their teaching. It's you can sort of see, well, that's a problem, and it's not an easy one to solve in a regular classroom. So as a homeschooling parent, you do have an advantage where you can just laser in on what your kids are up to, and don't feel pressured that, oh gee, they should really be ahead here. Yeah. That's okay. You get plenty of homeschooling life or schooling life in particular is a long time. It's a long process. So I think that if you're ever feeling that, okay, look, I can see my kids should be a little bit ahead, or because other kids are, well, that's the other kids are going to be ahead or behind. Sure. So I would really stress, don't feel under pressure as a homeschooling parent teaching your kids. Don't feel under that pressure at all that they should be at a certain stage. I'd be confident that it'll all work out in the long run.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTCMath. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.